You are watching a modern air combat environment tutorial video made on behalf of Battlespace Simulations by Close Air Solutions. Here is a brief overview of what we will cover in this tutorial video. First, we will talk a little about how you can easily rename and even label your platforms so that you can easily find them during editing and at runtime. To do this, we select a platform in the usual way and right-click on it to bring up the platform properties. The label and call sign fields are in the General section of the platform properties. Don't forget, you can use the search box at any time to find what you're looking for by simply typing the name, for example, label. The call sign is what is shown, as we discussed in the previous lesson, when you hold down Control and hover over a platform on the mission area. The call sign is used by MACE for scripting, which we will discuss in a later lesson. But for now, know this, it's a good idea to change call signs of units that you'll be actively controlling from MACE to something useful. For example, it is easier for me to find an F-15 called Dude10 than it is to find the default call sign F-15_4. MACE creates an amalgamation of the entity name and the number of entities placed in the scenario to generate a call sign. The call sign can be changed by over-typing the call sign field and pressing Enter. The Label field allows you to display a label next to the platform on the mission area at all times. This is a useful feature because it allows you to find units quickly in a mission area visually. Too many labelled units can cause clutter. As a reminder from an earlier tutorial, don't forget that you can tick your preferred platform tick box and then use the filter in the bottom status bar to see only your preferred platforms. We will now discuss advanced placing of platforms. Up until now, you have placed platforms on the mission area at ground level. If I move a ground unit over the top of a building on the mission area, it will not be on the roof. Platforms can be placed on roofs of buildings simply by ticking the roof clamping tick box. Now if I drag the unit on the roof, it appears on the roof in the image generator. Human platforms can be attached to vehicles within MACE, for example a driver, a passenger and a gunner in a technical vehicle. Likewise, some vehicles can be attached to other vehicles, for example aircraft to aircraft carriers. Also, humans can be attached to certain buildings with attachment points. For all attachments, the procedure is the same. Select the platform that you wish to attach to something and open the platform properties by using the right mouse button. At the very bottom of the platform properties, select the Formation drop-down menu. At the bottom, there are two attach options, Attach and Attach to Position. Some platforms have multiple attachment points, for example a vehicle or a house. If you know what position you want to attach the platform to on the other platform or building, then choose the option Attach to Position. If you just want to attach it to the first available position, then you can select Attach. When you have selected Attached or Attached to, you get a four-way arrow. Left-click this on the platform or the building that you wish to attach to. If you do this at runtime, the platform being attached will have a blue line between it and the other platform or building. It will turn to face the thing it is attaching to, and it will proceed towards it and attach itself. If I press play, you can see this happening. If you are attaching prior to runtime, and you want to run the mission with the platform already attached, then you can use the control and left mouse button to move the unit and place it over the thing you're attaching it to. It will suddenly disappear into the other platform or building, or maybe show up as a mini icon if you're attaching to a building or a large platform such as an aircraft carrier. Once attached, the platforms can be detached by selecting the platform or building they are attached to and then opening the platform properties window as normal. At the bottom, you can see the attached entities drop-down list. You can select the platform that you wish to detach from the list and then press the blue detach button below. Alternatively, you can select detach all entities from the drop-down and then click the same detach button to detach all the entities. Formations are similar to attachments, in that to get units to formate on another unit, you follow the same actions. Select the unit you wish to put in formation and right-click on it to access its platform properties. At the bottom of the Platform Properties window, use the Formation drop-down window to select the type of formation that you require. When you have selected the formation, you get a four-way arrow. Left-click this on the platform that you wish to formate on, i.e. the leader. The unit will take up its formation at runtime. The distance at which units formate is also defined in the Platform Properties window, under the Navigational sub-tab, as Formation Offset Distance in feet. You can overtype this on the formatting unit and press Enter. When an entity is in formation, you can see this with the blue line attaching it to its leader. You can also see in the Entity Control menu ribbon, the Intent drop-down, that the formation icon is highlighted. If you click Return to Intent, then the formation link will be broken and the formatting unit will return to its path. The reaction postures tell platforms how to react when attacked. They are run away, go prone, fight back, do nothing, and auto. The auto reaction posture tells civilian platforms to run away and combat platforms to assume the prone position whilst also targeting the attacking entity. They will shoot back if the enemy is within range and line of sight. You can use these reaction postures to tailor your scenario, as we'll see later. You can combine the reaction postures with team affiliations and weapon postures to achieve realistic behaviours within the scenario. You can set the reaction posture for individual entities or groups using either the Entity Control menu ribbon or by using the Platform Properties dialog. The reaction posture is independent of the intent or delta states, unlike formations. Team affiliations are how MACE knows who are on opposite sides in the conflict, or who is a non-combatant. The team affiliations are key in entity behavior in the mission. If two entities are on the blue team and you allow them freedom of attack on enemy targets, they will not attack each other. Whereas if one of those entities was to be red, then they would engage each other when allowed. When you set the team designation for platforms, they show up as different coloured icons on the mission area. Predefined units in the mission builder come with their own team affiliation set, as you'd expect for their type. Red is enemy. Blue is friendlies. Green is neutral. And beige is unknown. But they can be changed in the platform properties. Just right-click on the unit or group to select the platform properties and change the team affiliation in the General section of the Properties box. If it's a group change, remember to click Apply to Group. Weapon posture tells combat units what they can and cannot engage. This, combined with team affiliations, will cause units to engage each other on the battlefield. How the units being engaged react to the engagement we have already defined in the reaction posture. The weapons postures are: Weapons hold. This unit is not permitted to engage anything, and this is the default posture when units are placed. Weapons free allows the selected platform to engage targets at will on the opposing team if line of sight and weapon parameters are met. Weapons tight allows the unit only to engage what it is currently targeting. Again, the platform must have line of sight and be in range of the weapon system. Suppression applies to ground units only. The platforms with this selected will fire in the direction that they are facing and do not need to target or line of sight to fire. We will now see how the three concepts of reaction posture, team affiliation and weapons posture combine into mission behaviours in MACE. I will place two groups for 4 armed units facing each other on the mission area. I will group them, as we've seen in previous tutorials, by using Shift and dragging to select each group, then selecting the Control key and a number between 0 and 9 to allocate the group. Before we begin the behaviours, I will just cover the concept of rally point. I will select a group and press Control and the right mouse button click on the mission area, and that will assign the group a rally point. The group will exit intent and move to that point. We can see the group moving to the rally point by the fact that there is a small dark blue circle denoting the point itself on the mission area. And also within the entity control ribbon, route section, if I drop it down, we can see the highlighted Move to Rally Point flag. I will now make each group the same team. Blue, weapons free, and the reaction posture to run away. If I start the mission, you can see that they do not engage each other, even though they are weapons free. This is because they are on the same team. Now I will select Group 1 and change their affiliation to red. You can see that the blue and red teams are engaging each other. If I stop the mission, I can select all the entities, activate the platform properties with the right mouse button, and use this button at the bottom to resurrect the dead entities. Note that when an entity is resurrected, it becomes a handy Kill Entity button instead. There's one more property that can affect this type of engagement. If I change all groups in the platform properties to have the status of concealed, then this will mean that although they are visible in the image generator, it will be as if the opposing force cannot see them. If I run this again, you can see them not engaging. But when I deselect the concealed property, they are now engaged, because they're now detectable by the enemy. Here I have opposing teams. Before I start the mission, I'll make all entities have the weapons hold weapons posture. Now if I start the mission, they do not engage. I will select one reaction posture per unit on the opposing team. Auto, prone, run away, fight back, do nothing. Now if I make the opposition weapons free, we can see how the other side behave. I'll now repeat the exercise, but with civilians instead of soldiers, and you can see what happens. We will now cover the weapons tight case. I resurrect all entities and put them on weapons hold for the moment, but they're still on opposing teams. To do the weapons tight case, we need to target another unit. This is a simple process. Select the firing unit, and then in the entity control ribbon, select the fist button to assign the target. The mouse pointer in the mission area will change to a red targeting pointer. Left-click this on the desired target and a red line will extend from the attacking unit to the target. To cancel this, you do the same process except you target your own platform. With the other unit targeted, if I now make the unit's weapons tight, they will attack that unit if it is within line of sight and weapons parameters. But what if it is not in range or line of sight? Well, there's another entity control in the intent menu that commands the unit to move so that it meets these parameters. If I weapons hold and move the attacking units beyond weapons range and line of sight, then target the opposing unit and commands weapon tight, you see it does not attack. If I now select Move to Target from the Intent drop-down, you'll see the unit move to within firing range and attack the opposing unit. A quick way to achieve this is in the Entity Controls Actions subsection, where we use the fist to target. Underneath it is an attack button. This simultaneously assigns the target and commands the unit to attack it. Here is the summary of what we covered in this tutorial video.